What's going on, guys? Tony here, and I'm looking at Buffy's website, Pinnacle Women's Therapeutics, pinnaclewt.com. I want to give Buffy a little feedback. Now, she didn't ask me to do this, but we were talking back and forth in a recent blog or Facebook post about her website, and I definitely think her website deserves massive amounts of traffic. It's not getting massive amounts of traffic. So I want to talk about maybe a couple simple optimizations she can use to improve the traffic that is going to come to her website. So she always has an amazing, beautiful website, aesthetically very pleasing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at where I think the easiest traffic is going to come from. So that's going to be her blog posts. So if I go into her blog, as I scroll through, kind of a couple things that, jump out at me right away. And this is what I typically see as, I think, the most common mistakes therapists are making with their websites is, does this title look like something that the Google algorithm is going to understand and going to put in the SERP results? So, for example, the burning sensation down there may not be an infection. And then what to do if meds don't help? So obviously from Google algorithm perspective, what is down there? What is burning sensation? This isn't going to be the answer to a question that somebody is searching on Google, right? Seeing a pelvic PT postpartum is the new standard of care. So who would that article be meant for? Is somebody searching for the standard of care for postpartum? I don't think they're going to find this. Is this for clinicians? Is this for doctors? Who is the target audience for this? Strong glutes for pelvic health and more. Same thing. I don't know, what is the term that you want somebody to search who's going to land on that article? Late to the party, why timing can be the cause of bladder leaks. So I haven't looked at this article. Bladder leaks is certainly a popular topic. Let's jump in here and see kind of what this article looks like. So what's going wrong? I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to go to inspect, and I'm going to see if that's an H2 tag. I think it's bold, but I don't think it's an H2 tag. Yeah, I think it's just a bold section. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to see kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's bold, but I don't see anything to indicate that it's an H2. So when we're writing for the algorithm, right? And that's really where we have to kind of start, writing for the algorithm first, and then we write for the viewer. Let's take a look at this. So you have your H1, which is going to be your title. So if I right click and inspect that, I can come up here and I can see it's an H1. Perfect. But then you don't have an H2, you don't have any H3s. So we know that most people who are going to land on this website are going to scan it first. They're going to look at the title, they're going to look at the subtitle, maybe the subheading, and try to figure out what the article is about. I definitely think you should have at least a couple H2s. I usually shoot for a minimum of 3, sometimes 4. And then if you need to, under the H2s, you can go with H3s, or you can go with bulleted points or some sort of list. That tends to do well in the Google algorithm. Now, I love that you have original photos. That's a huge advantage. I would love even more if you had a little bit of video, but that's okay. You're still way ahead of the pack with this. Your lines are spaced really well. Your font size is really great. I am on a desktop. The light gray, I know it goes with the color theme, but I'm 47. It's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time. My eyes are kind of struggling to read a combination of the chosen font and the lighter color font. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying that depending on who your demographic is, that might be a little bit of something. But trying to figure out, okay, what is this about? So at least 1 in 3 women experience urinary incontinence at some point in life. So that's probably one part of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the domain, the URL for this. I'm going to go to my Google Keyword Planner. I'm going to click on Discover New Keywords, start with a website. I'm going to paste that URL and only use this page. I'm going to click Get Results because I want to see what Google sees on your page. So Google only sees 53 keywords available on that page. That's not a lot. You have good content there. That's not a lot of keywords. I'm going to arrange these by a monthly search volume. So we see bladder can, 74,000. Pain bladder, 18,000. Bladder leakage, 8,100. So bladder leakage would be an interesting keyword to search. What I'm going to do next is, I was looking at some other articles. See, like I can't even, normally what I do is I take the title, I copy it, I go into a new Google tab, I paste the title, and I see what Google gives me. So here, first search result, urinary incontinence, which is, consistent with your article, from Cleveland Clinic. Then I've got bowel and bladder incontinence. Then I've got bladder control problems. So I do know that Google is looking at that page is indexed, and Google is, kind of putting you in the general right area. What causes bladder leakage during the night? How do you stop bladder leakage? Let's jump back into your article. So 1 in 3, stress urinary incontinence. What's going wrong? How are the core muscles supposed to work to stop? So is that what we want to focus this article on? So how can a person work on this timing? Okay, so we want to talk about the timing, I guess, of the muscle contractions. So let me do this. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to say best exercises to stop bladder leakage. Let's see what we get with this. Mayo Clinic Kegel how to stop constant urine leakage. You were looking at, let me jump back up here. So something like this. Stress urinary incontinence. Is somebody going to be looking for that key term? And when I come here, I don't necessarily see that. I'm going to do a search for stress. So Google does not see stress urinary incontinence as a keyword on your page at all. So that's a challenge. Let's go to keywords. Stress urinary I don't know how to spell. Let me copy that. Let me drop that in there. Get results. Stress incontinence. Stress urinary incontinence has 2,900 search, which is awesome. But Google isn't seeing that on that page. So what we need to do is we need to get that key term showing up. We need to get it in the title. We need to get it in the H2 tag, which you don't have here. We need to get it in the content, which you've got it once there. Let me see. But it's only showing up once. If I do Control F, I only see it once. I see urinary incontinence 3 times. Let me check one more thing. Whoops. I see stress 3 times. But they're not really the right key terms. So this is what I would do. I would start by saying, what is the ultimate intent of the article? So if I look at the results for best exercise to stop bladder leakage or to treat stress urinary incontinence. We have Kegels, urinary incontinence, best at home incontinence. So I saw this on the last search result. I see it on this one. If I go to this, we can see urinary incontinence. So these are H2s. I'm going to right click and go to inspect. Yep. So that's an H2. We saw the H1, which is the title. We've got our H2s. I don't see any H3s. We've got this little graphic. We've got the exercises, but no original photos. You definitely could beat this article. This is stock photography, obviously. This would be what I would be modeling, best at home incontinence exercises. I would rework this title to include, you know, whatever key term you're going to use, but if it's going to be stress urinary incontinence, if we're going to focus on treatment, at home treatment, exercise, stop leakage, we want a list of those key terms. I mean, these are great photos. You know, I'd love to see you do a video talking about these photos, why they're helpful, these exercises. But I think if you rework this, let me see one more thing. I want to see how many words you have here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to word counter. Let's open this up. You're at 1,000 words. That's a great length. That's probably better than what this one is. Let me see. I'm going to copy. Copy that. Come on over here. They're at 1,100. So I really think you are putting in all the work and getting a fraction of the actual benefit that you deserve. Work on your keyword optimization. Go back through your existing content. Pick a keyword that you want to focus on. Get it in the title. Get it in the H2 tag. Get it in the content. Get it in. So even something like this, like, awesome, you've got Pinterest. If I inspect this graphic, this image, I want to see the alt tag. I want to see what the image is titled. Let me see if I can spread this out a little more. So this says late to the party blog pin 01.jpg. Like, the title of that is not optimized to help Google Images show that graphic, you know? And I would bet, like, I don't necessarily see the alt tag jumping out at me. But if I took a look at this, inspect, same thing, Pinnacle WT, late to the party, visual 01. That doesn't tell Google or any of the search engines anything about that photo. Name your photo files on with embedded key terms and what they really are. You know, these are little tweaks that are going to help improve over time, help improve the performance of these posts. I really think there's a lot you can do here. All right, I'll wrap it up. I know you didn't ask for this. I hope you're not offended by anything that I said. You just put so much incredible effort into this project. I want to see you get the reward for the work you're putting in. Catch you guys later.